Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Twisted and the Twilight, where I have now gone forth and downloaded the update. I am on the correct version of the game client. Aren't we all proud of me? I have to admit, I'm a little bit embarrassed. Last episode, I don't know if I just didn't notice or what, but let's take a moment to really focus in on this Dark Elf lady right here, and the fact that her first name is Eleanor, but from hell. Eleanor Spiteheart might be the coolest Dark Elf name I've ever seen. A lot of the time, they're trying just like a little bit too hard, and it's like, it's very easy to make fun of. But Eleanor is just the right level of hardcore and stupid for me to really be into it. This Dark Elf lady right here is my hero. Unfortunately, we do have to kill her. So, the question is, what is the best way to do that? Toltirian? Okay, we moved Toltirian already this turn.
Awaiting bloodshed.
I think we're going to try to just run up on her.
Visions predict failure.
She has a lot of Black Ark Corsairs, and these are ranged units, but they only have 70 range. And obviously that's not so good against our archers. They do have 80 armor, which is a shame. There's a lot of that is a lot of archer survivability. And we don't exactly know what's in Taheshish's army, but the two units we can see are a little bit higher tier. You know what? I think we have to fall back. I think we need to go back to Hotek's column. Yeah, I think all the way into the settlement. Because if they take Twisted Glade, we need to make sure we still get replenishment. So we can't be in this region. We have to be over there. Alright, we'll take one turn of healing. Then we'll get this back, I guess, because I have every expectation that we are going to lose it. And then this whole thing is occurring and is dangerous. Right, and we're exhausted. Well, we probably ought to just take it easy for a turn. I think, again, run over here maybe and just get a little bit of vision. Can we see if there's anybody at Blacklight? Okay, well, not a very productive turn for us, I don't think. Alright, so let's talk about the plan here. Where are we headed now, technology-wise? We do now have the ability to double our port income. Our port income is quite low, so it's not, like, amazing, but it is money. Income from grapevine buildings, I guess, is also money. And, you know, we have a couple of people using Lore of Life spells. We have some treekin. Isha the Mother might be a good research at this point. What was this again? Great Eagles get better, get vision over all the magical forests. I don't actually think we care about that much. Leadership up and post-battle loot up are both pretty good. We don't really care about our diplomatic relations with Dark Elves, I don't think. We're probably never really going to get along with them, on account of all the murders and everything. This is compelling, though. Cain, the Bloody-Handed God, also seems very good. Yeah, maybe we ought to just build toward that. Let's grab Isha, and then we'll push toward Cain. And I guess we're just gonna watch. We're just gonna watch as a terrible thing happens here. We're still 2 turns off of being able to build any more buildings. So this provides a garrison that is very unimpressive. But 5% more money from all trade is nice. It's definitely a thing we need to have, and unfortunately we're about to lose all of our trade routes as well. Oh, right, our hero had a turn worth of movement left. Getting into or out of the water via a beach costs a ton of movement, which is why that was like a full turn of move there. Yep, no big surprise here. Man, there sure are a lot of Dark Elves, huh? Oh, they didn't actually take down the Twisted Glade, though. They just sacked it and ran off. That's a very strange choice. I don't know why the AI does that so much. Because it's definitely, like, it's not a new thing. This is how the AI has run things for a long time. And it makes some sense to like, sack a settlement that's built up, because you can make a lot of money that way. But in the case of a Tier 1 port that we just took, and, like, they probably got 100 gold for doing that. It would seem to me that perhaps that was not the best possible option. It's entirely possible, though, that like they just made it so the AI mostly sacks your stuff because they found that it was very frustrating when they, if they were actually destroying your things. Because, boy, they sure do outnumber you, huh? Unfortunately, people in Ice Rock Gorge are being kidnapped. I don't even know where that is. Okay, it's this. That's fine. And, yep, we're being raided over in the Twisted Glade. I will say this. If they burn down the Twisted Glade, that would, first of all, cost the army that did it all of its movement, so it wouldn't be able to run over and raid. And secondly, it would mean this territory is unowned, so the raiding doesn't actually work. But also, like, they're getting 30 gold each from raiding. It's not like it's a very high value move. All right, so what else do we want on you? I mean, I guess we just start picking up. We may as well grab scouting, I suppose. You know, I like magic items. Who doesn't like magic items?
What is this foolishness?
Okay, so your army is mostly pretty low tier. You do have a couple of units of chariots, and you have a little bit of real stuff. The Blackguard of Naggarond is a pretty powerful unit. Sisters of Slaughter are a little bit scary. You can see not a lot of armor, but 64 melee defense means that a lot of infantry units just don't do very much damage in combat with them. And in case you're wondering what that horrible shouting is, that's just what Dark Elves are like. All the time. They are always doing that. Alright, yeah, let's spill some blood, shall we? Can you get close enough to participate? You cannot. Alright, well, your job then is going to be to run to, like, here and just sit in ambush mode. Let's not let the AI know that we have a backup army until it is actually time to deploy them. And yeah, I think we're gonna split some wigs here. So who do we want to take first? I think despite this army being higher tech, I also think they're probably easier. So let's go for them. And this is where that lightning strike is going to come in handy. Yep, pretty straightforward. We're actually going to manual this. This is one where, like, the auto-resolve obviously would be a win. It would be a huge, clear win, but this is one of those cases where I'm pretty sure the auto-resolve will perform less, it will perform a worse job than we will manually, and we kind of need our troops intact, because we're going to fight another battle this turn. We can play this in a pretty safe way that should lead to fairly minimal losses. All that melee defense, not super helpful against arrows, you know? So, I think we want to stay far from the trees. I know, like, firing uphill is not ideal, but we do not want to give them any tree cover whatsoever. Let's pull you guys into a group. Melee flying units. I guess you guys aren't melee. We'll command the rest of the flyers individually. Let's do some of this, though. And we know that they have some ranged, but we have much longer range on our archers than they do. So let's split our... Boy, I'm very reluctant to deploy anything over by those trees, though. I really don't want them having any cover, because I think that's the way that things would go the most wrong for us. You know what? Let's have you guys start over here as well. We're just gonna flank immediately, and I think I'm gonna push them with my melee and my archers instead of waiting back. So let's actually put the melee in front for a change, and then this is like wizards and stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. So this whole group over here, this whole group roughly maintaining formation. Advance to, like, oh shoot, how do you turn them? There we go. Okay, yeah, do something that looks like that. And, of course, one of these. And hey, what if we had another eagle? Wouldn't that be fun? Is that going to cancel the move order? No, okay, you can summon the eagle and then immediately do that. So I'm gonna have Gwendolor, who is infinite, just run over here real fast. Actually, let's have all of the flying ranged start work on these horse archers as quickly as possible. Units on horseback don't generally fare terribly well against archery. Alright, how are we doing on attack range over here? Yes, we should be able to burn that out pretty quickly. I'll say this, they're holding together. Like, they're not panicking and giving up right away. Never mind. I said that, and then their morale meter started dropping immediately. Okay, so, again, sort of maintain positions, except you guys. Let's have you guys just form up right here to provide a little bit of a flank. I mean, these Dark Riders are not going to be alive for very long, so I'm not too worried. Do I want yet another eagle? Because we could just pull in... Yeah, you know what? Give me another eagle to harass those guys. That's how I'm going to handle that. I'm just going to fling an eagle at them. And you guys, there's some Dark Riders with shields and stuff. I mean, this is all pretty straightforward. Here, do this, and actually, ignore that thing I just said. Why don't you instead just, like, get ready for an Amber Spear against their Lord. Here we go. I would love it if we could just blow their Lord up really fast and then pelt them with ranged stuff. And there's no particular reason that we have to make this a real fight. What I'm thinking is we might be able to just get them to give up. But we do have to watch out with our cavalry because they actually have stuff that can chase us, which has not been the case for many of our enemies. I guess actually just go like right in after the archers. Yeah, those guys, we're just going to let them do that. That'll get broken down real fast. Okay, we have drawn their attention. And I think now is the time to start making use of the fact that they are all distracted. So, their lord just charged right in. I'm going to have Ariel get involved in that. They're trying to bring some stuff around the flanks. I don't know how they think this is going to work exactly. So let's just... You guys are Black Ark Corsairs. I do not care about the Dread Spears, even a tiny little bit. What I'd really like is to work on the Sisters of Slaughter. There they are. There may be... Oops, that's the wrong one. They may be a little far away for this. So unfortunately, their movement's not very impeded, right? Like, we can try to lead them, but all they have to do is turn a little bit. Well, let's see. Let's see if we can get that. And we can definitely start firing some volleys into their archers to abbreviate this threat. Alright, so volley the archers real hard. Most of our ranged are doing the things they need to be doing. Delina's doing things. Ariel... Okay, yeah, cool. Do we want to throw out crows or something, maybe? You know, honestly, I think we're probably just going to wait a little bit on Delina. We'll have curses available and stuff. Yeah, wow, that's a pretty good way to do that. Oh, our lord is in the wrong mode. Can we get Dragon Breath? Okay. Are those other... Yeah, those other guys are done for, and they're done for permanently, so you should come back here and help me fight archers. The Zotes are... Here, let's have the Zotes just charge the Dark Riders. I'm gonna have our cavalry disengage from them. We should be able to pull that off. And then I want a focus on... Ariel actually got run all the way out here, so hold on a second. Let me... Okay, every time she hits an enemy for 9 seconds, that whole unit suffers minus melee attack. So actually, with her combat stats, as she's built up right now, I think it's fine for her to be in here against the Sisters of Slaughter. Let's tilt the numbers on this combat a little bit. Oh, Shield of Thorns would be a good idea. She has a very, very cheap version of Shield of Thorns. And then we're also gonna push their numbers down at the same time. Okay, that should be fairly straightforward. You guys step out a little bit and then hit them in the side. And let's have... You know what? The archers all being pointed at the Sisters of Slaughter is probably very sensible for the moment. So that Dragon Breath never actually went off for whatever reason. And yeah, Ariel is in there and actually mixing it up pretty well, considering how good those units are supposed to be. Now, of course, we're going to have some problems related to the murderous magic of the Dark Elves. There's a lot of purple happening right now, which is not... It's not ever a good sign, right? Okay, apparently I'm just not going to be able to use Dragon Breath on units that are directly below me. You need to disengage. This is the Black Guard of Naggarond. These guys are specifically very powerful anti-large troops, and so you really don't want them engaging your eagles and whatnot. There you go. A little Dragon Breath will soften that up. Okay. Yep, we killed their lord. They panic and surrender immediately. And yeah, I feel pretty good about Ariel's combat prowess. She seems to be very flexible, very adaptable, and our losses are extremely minimal. We'll have to hold back the giant eagle, and that's really it, right? Maybe we don't want to send Ariel directly into combat with the enemy lord this time. Now my guess is we're going to have a pretty soft auto-resolve against the other army, because it's all low-tier garbage. And that one we can just take on the auto-resolve, because the sisters are not going to be close enough to fight anything else anyway this turn. I'm a little surprised these guys didn't even retreat. Like, when we first approached them, maybe they were figuring it was going to be a 20 versus 40, but, like... Even so, the balance of power bar was very in our favor. You know, they're Dark Elves, they love bloodshed. What is the thing that unites all Warhammer elves?
Serene Nestra, tempestuous Arahan.
Okay, hey, the forge is lit. What a surprise. We do have some stuff to upgrade now. Yeah, man, plus research rate. Perhaps a little bit better earlier in the game.
Craving prey.
Okay, what do you want? You want Foe Seeker, right? I think we're going to start working toward... Yeah, I think we'll work toward this before we worry about Marked by Kurnus. We're not a very chargy army. Okay, so lightning strike them. Basically free victory.
There is no other way. They will know order.
And then here, Helenor might just run. And, oh, I think she just barely didn't get far enough away. That's lucky, too, because she almost made it to the river. Okay, I'm just going to take this auto-resolve. It's going to be a little bit more costly, but like I said, we have a turn now to replenish, and we're very, very good at replenishment. So, a couple of skill points there. We are going to take the flying unit bonus at this point. Don't really have a lot of fascinating decisions to make with most of these characters. You probably want Tempered Rigor next. Obviously, a percentage-based increase on weapon strength for heroes is usually pretty powerful, because, like, 30% of 500 is a lot of bonus damage. And we may actually want her to hunt enemy characters, so I think it's worth picking up. And then Ariel just continue to get better at everything, I suppose. Do we want to grab Forest Calling? It's probably not super relevant just yet. Let's take this. We'll take her aura. Oh, she had 2 skill points. And also... this.
Ariel's emissaries.
Alright, so I think we need to get an eye back on what's going on over here at the circle. Still an awfully large number of enemies.
Naggarond must know better. I will show them true valor.
Alright, well, I'm doing what I can to support our allies. Hopefully they'll actually, like, make it in here and get something accomplished. Dodan's job is to sail to the east. Yeah, I think it makes the most sense to go around the north side of the north side of Ulthuan, given the way things are shaped here. We could cap out the Witchwood, but, like, why? Do need to repair this stuff. Fortunately, the port being damaged does not break our trade routes. If they had burned the port down, we would have lost all of our trade routes and we would have had to renegotiate everything. So that could have been annoying. Okay, so now we're showing as roughly as powerful as Naggarond. Obviously, that's not going to hold because we're pretty much at our maximum, a local maximum here. But they're going to rebuild all those armies that they lost. We may see them come back with fewer stacks, but just that have much better units in them. I'm not sure if they had a lot of like low tier stuff because that's how they like to recruit, or if it's just that those were old armies, you know. I guess we're going to find out real soon, though. And we've won a lot of, like, military battles against them, you know, as opposed to the other kinds of battles. But we haven't done any damage to their economy or their ability to host a huge number of troops, so that is a thing we need to work on. Alright, let's talk about how we're going to deal with the rest of the Dark Elves. I think this might be a good time to bring in the Regiments of Renown. So I do think we want the archers here. This army does not have a lot in the way of fast-moving units, so I think maybe picking up the 2 units of shock cavalry will give us a little bit of flexibility here. And that's got us all the way down to 76 gold per turn. And then I think what we're going to do is run one of the 2 armies forward and leave them in the open. And then have the other army sit in front of them in ambush mode, in the hopes of baiting the enemies forward into some really embarrassing losses. Because I think our plan may be, especially with the monoliths having been resettled here. Well, I was going to say this might protect the Twisted Glade, but I guess the armies that came after the Twisted Glade didn't come overland anyway, right? They came through they just landed on the beach. Yeah, alright, I don't know. Maybe there's nothing we can do to protect that. But my hope is that the other High Elves will be just enough of a distraction that we can kind of ignore all of this noise and just go straight to Naggarond's capital. If we break their economy, then we can make the rest of the war a lot more straightforward for us. Alright, Dodan, do this thing. And what can we build here in the Vale? Well, first of all, we do have enough kindred. We have exactly 3, so we can upgrade one of these buildings. 2800, 1620, and 2430. Okay. And then, like, yeah, I guess, right? At this point, more income and stuff. And then I don't think we do need to build a defensive building here. I think we're pretty okay on that. So let's build instead. Well, we are going to have to get through the Ritual of Rebirth at some point, though, and it would be nice to have defenses for that moment. We could build recruitment stuff instead. There's a question, I think, about whether we even want to max this one out either. I don't really think we do. So I'm not planning on getting another building slot. So you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. And then maybe we'll demolish that after the ritual. I mean, I'm planning for the pretty distant future here. Okay, we are absolutely not interested in any kind of military alliance. And hey, look at that. It worked perfectly. Malekith just wanders into battle. We get the easiest clear of all time. And then mostly the Dark Elves run away, which makes sense to me. If I had just seen that happen to my faction's legendary lord, I too might flee. So we stole his Talisman of Preservation, which is pretty good. 17%'s a weird value, but that's a lot of damage reduction. And the sisters have gotten even better at stealing gold from enemy armies. We may as well fire our forge again. Fix up that dragon spear. And man, we're getting so much XP so quickly. Even better at finding magic items, even better at just murdering the entire hell out of people. Well, do we want to take the Circle of Destruction? I think we keep it instead of burning it. I'm gonna hope that this situation is stable. You know, they got the Sword of Cain on their side. They'll probably be able to handle whatever the Dark Elves send at them. Where did these armies go? They just ran... Huh. Why do you think that's what they did?
What is this foolishness? Reporting.
Well, go annoy these guys.
They will suffer Orion's wrath.
Oh, don't quite have the movement. And then I think it's going to be like Tolterin grabs the Circle of Destruction, and the sisters, once that is grabbed... Yeah, the sisters can make it over there. We're just going to grab this to give ourselves a nice, easy place to continue replenishing. Because if we were to burn the circle, then obviously we have to fall back to get replenishment. Yo, Hawk Companion seems pretty good. Although the plus range percent is not going to be super helpful.
Open them up.
We can grab this army. They can't run away because they're in march mode. They're already tired. Oh, and apparently it's just going to let me take both of their armies for free. I mean, like, let's do them one by one, though. Well, I guess Crone Hellebrand's not in march mode, though, is she? So she might actually be able to run away if we engage her separately. I'll take this. This is absolutely fine.
Onward together.
Alright, we've gotten high enough level to get to the last Regiment of Renown unlocked. And what are we doing with you? Ah, yes. This very important thing, obviously. What else could it be?
Inseparable, invincible.
You cannot get anywhere near reinforcement range, but you do have enough movement left to hide.
How delicious.
I am all about hiding. I am all about maximum cowardice. Okay, and then at this point we're just like, we're taking random skill points, basically. Delina has everything that might even be theoretically useful. Alright, let's max out Forest Gifts. At some point we should probably, like, figure out the rest of her spells.
Ariel's will triumphs once more.
Alright, and I am very hopeful that we are going to be able to do, like I said, and just go immediately to Naggarond and burn it. It's possible that we won't even actually have to finish off the Dark Elves, and to be clear, I don't think there's a lot of, like, value for us in actually, like, hunting down all of their settlements and everything. With most factions, you'd want to do that, like, take the enemy capital, because it has a port and a gold mine, but this stuff doesn't really matter so much for us. It is nice to have a second port, just in case. We do have an awful lot of money. I don't really know what I want to use it for. I don't know. For the moment, I think we're good. But basically, all we really want to do is we want to break Naggarond's ability to summon new units for a little while, and we want to force them into peace, and then I don't really care what happens to them after that. I want to get back to my forest stuff. But we do need to convince these guys that it is unwise to mess with us. And we have a lot of forests where we haven't done any work at all, so that stuff does matter. Just getting declared on by Naggarond so early in the game is a real bummer. It's a big distraction. Alright, Isha done. Let's move toward Cain.
When do we fight? Only when necessary.
So Admiral Tomalak there is a Black Ark. This army cannot get on land. So we don't have to worry necessarily about it engaging us directly, but it is possible for them to provide support from the water. Like, if we were to fight a land army nearby, they'd be able to, like, shell our army and stuff, so it's potentially a problem. Haggrafe has walls, but it also only has a 9-unit garrison.
To battle, sister.
So yeah, we're just gonna push really hard. Like I said, all I really want to do is break their will to fight.
End their threat. Battle, a regrettable necessity.
It's another situation where I'm like, do I want replenishment or do I want 22,000 gold?
Regrettable, but necessary.
Because we're not really even going to want to hold on to Haggrave, right? That seems like a lot of effort.
They must know
Yeah, but I
the
really do want to have a place to replenish here.
Can
And then I
Naggarond
think we just run Tree Singer Tolteran, like, March mode and just run right up to Haggrave. Don't see any reason to get fancy here. Let's just keep the troops together. Alright, and the Vale. Do this thing. We're still population locked in the Vale. It's mostly an issue of having enough kindreds.
Serene Nestra. Tempestuous.
Sisters continue to level up, so we grab Rally, which is useful-ish. It's a big temporary leadership boost, just in case. But this is what we're really after, this stuff here. We have a lot of skill points. I guess let's grab this. I think we've got sort of all of the really important skill points. So yeah, I'm gonna hit Naggarond, and then we're gonna see if we can get them to surrender. We'll probably just burn Naggarond down. I don't know that there's a lot of value in actually holding on to it, and my suspicion is we will make a hell of a lot of money for doing so. Against a player, I would say that it's pretty important to make sure that we're leaving them enough stuff that they feel like they're still in the game, so that they're not in a place where they believe they've lost and their only goal is now to do spite upon us. I don't know if the AI works that way. I don't know if we need to be worried about that. Okay, so we got a little bit of infighting. We'll just burn some dryads. It's fine.
Bring me battle.
Now Naggarond has a real garrison. Where's my hero? Hold on.
Forest defender.
Get up here and make sure that there's not like a secret army hiding just behind the city or something. No, it looks like they're having a hard time forming up. Which is good news for us. So let's go and
Remain calm.
lay on the siege here. I'm not even going to bother having Ariel Nature's Wrath it.
This is the life.
We're going to surround the city. We're going to pull in our tree man. Let's get an additional army's worth of troops here.
There will be blood.
And then once he is committed, let's see what the auto-resolve on that looks like now.
Finally a fight.
Pretty positive, as you might imagine. We could try to wait and starve them, but I think let's just take the auto-resolve now. It's going to hurt, but like I said, I think there's a pretty good chance we'll break their will to fight. And
Eradicate.
yeah, okay, that's not as much money as I might have liked. That is largely spite right there. This is just the thing that will be most annoying to them. Alright, you get to grab improvements to Earthblood, maybe? We already have a defensive spell, so even though those two defensive spells have slightly different applications, I think it makes the most sense to just pick up some different utility. So this is cavalry. Here we go. Archers. Plus 10% range for your basic archers. This is the one that affects Hawk Riders. But the eagles and the dragons are on this skill. Let's grab archers first. I mean, we're going to get all of them eventually. You have finished your violent delights. We need 2 more skill points before we can take this. We could just grab, like, some more health. Right now, she doesn't have a huge amount of armor, so plus 30 armor is pretty significant. And, of course, we could get more melee attack and melee defense. You know what? I'm going to do that. Her melee defense is actually quite poor. She is not very good at fighting enemy characters at the moment. And you are going to take this as well. Alright, I don't think they have anything that they're going to be able to retaliate with. Tree Singer can't get out of March mode. Okay. We did everything we're going to do with those armies this turn. Oh, right, I should go and talk to the Dark Elves and see if they want to give up. Nope, they still feel pretty strong. That's fine. I'm cool from here, just sort of falling back. I think we'll be okay. I mean, at this point I have 70,000 gold. I guess I may as well. Yeah, I don't think there's any point in sitting on 70,000 gold. Could we pay you guys to chill the hell out? The thing is, I would really love for this war to be over now, and I have a lot of money. Let's say 20k. Nope, okay. That's a shame. I don't want to have to, like, continue pushing here. It may be the case that we can separate one of the armies off. I want to go do Confederation stuff, though, you know? If Naggarond and the Exiles actually focus, the fact that we just broke the center of the Dark Elf economy should, in theory, mean that, like, our allied factions could just run them over. My concern is that they do not... The AI usually does not have the level of stick-to-itiveness that it takes to properly wipe out a foe. They get distracted, they wander off.
We grant you an audience, so don't waste our...
What is this? You want a defensive alliance? I mean, I'm just gonna confederate you anyway. Sure. I don't see why not. It doesn't matter. Will them being allied with us accelerate the rate of gain on the Oak of Ages? No, their territory is not considered to be Heathland, even though it's outside of the thing that we care about, because it's still part of the Magic Forest. Okay.
For fresh battle.
Alright, well, I was gonna say let's fall back and, you know, replenish at Haggrafe and stuff, but maybe we should continue to push into other Dark Elves, and... I kind of want to fall back and just heal up real quick.
Communing with the forest.
And are we going to have... he has to keep marching to keep up. Are we going to have one of our armies run back and heal? Or run back and start taking the deep roots to a different forest?
Sent by Kurnos.
Maybe.
I am called. This is the hunt.
I'm just trying to keep an eye on all of the armies that we can see. Now, Grond does have a gold mine. That's another place where it might be a good idea to hit them to weaken their economy. Right, who do we think we might be friends with? We're probably going to have a pretty tough time with the Bretonnians. Oh, maybe not. So I'm just going to say, I was just thinking, Bretonnia and the Wood Elves around here don't often get along very well. Can we... So you're fighting Norska. It doesn't seem like you have any particular problems with the nearby elves. Can we get a trade agreement going? What about a trade agreement and also military access?
So naive.
I mean, we're trending upward. We could just let we could wait a little bit on that trade agreement, but we will get it, it looks like, which is good news. You know, because we're so broke. So it's very important. Alright, so we need a little bit of healing time here, and a little bit more there. I really, really don't want to be engaged in a forever war with these Dark Elves. I also don't want to have to try to hold the territory like over on this little peninsula. It's all too far apart. It's gonna be a huge pain to keep it safe from marauding Dark Elf pirates is the problem. We could go over there and just burn their stuff down and hope that our friends take it over and then they can manage it. I am pretty pleased that the lions managed to get a foothold over here. So it's going to be much more likely that they're going to have units in the area who are actually trying to help us.
Can Naggarond muster no better?
Give me an enchanted item. We definitely are still short on these. Okay, upkeep reduced and the ability to summon in a unit of Glade Guard. That seems pretty cool. Okay, so I think we are, with the sisters, we are just going to push around and burn stuff down. It'll probably be pretty hard for them to resettle these two. Where's my hero? Can we get our hero over here? No, our hero is not going to be useful for scouting this stuff.
Wherever I am needed.
So I guess just push forward this way a little bit more. Make sure we got eyes on Harganeth, which has a pretty large and impressive garrison.
Defenders of the glades. They are marked.
This should be a free kill. You guys can sit and head Grafe. Oh, am I out of... Oh no, we totally have range.
Attack? Absolutely. Choosing safety.
Alright, and again, do we actually want to settle it? I don't think so. I think I want to just burn all this stuff down. Oh hey, and they naturally retreated back into our own territory. That's awfully nice. I want to burn this stuff down because that makes it harder for them to retake. If we take control of it, then all they have to do is win a battle and they get it, right? And it'll be an easy battle because we're not going to leave behind an actual army or anything. If we burn it down, it costs them way more army time to fix that problem. I guess you're just pushing this stuff. I guess that makes sense. You are a map action hero for now. You guys feeling a little more amenable to that trade agreement?
Absolutely not.
Nope, absolutely not, he says. He does love all the stuff we're doing to the Dark Elves, though. In my experience, fighting the Dark Elves is a pretty good way to get everybody in the world on your side. Nobody likes them.
My one will be even finer.
Alright, I guess then we don't have a lot else to do. I do want you guys to just sit in the city for a turn. Maybe even more than one turn, because we are in pretty rough shape on that army. And then I think I may actually just have them fall back to the Witchwood and then world route somewhere else. I guess if we're planning on breaking Harganeth, it might be useful to have a second stack with us. We could also sail out and try to burn down that Black Ark. I think Dark Elf troops get bonuses in naval battles, so obviously there's some downside there. And that thing does have an actual army on board. But with our 2 stacks, it shouldn't be a problem. Join your war against Visenland. No, that's okay. I don't see a lot of benefit in it.
A season of peace. A season of waste.
Alright, well, Cragroth Deep is definitely the place we're going next, and if we're going to keep the... I think we're going to keep the Tree Singer around for the moment. I think we need to make sure we take Harganeth, or burn Harganeth, before we send him back. So do we have a sense... Let's get into diplomacy with them real quick. They are showing 22 settlements, so no, we have no idea where all of their stuff is. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think. But like even all of the stuff over here is not... That's not enough to account for the number of things that are missing there. So they have territory elsewhere. Yeah, actually wiping them out is probably going to be like a real problem. We can't see what you have. I guess that's fine. Neither of these armies have any heroes in them. I mean, I guess just get over here and be an annoyance. damage their recruitment structures, make it harder for them to slowly put their army together.
Mission successful.
The tiny amount of damage that action does, obviously it's not like a big deal in terms of repairing the building, but if the building's broken at the beginning of their turn, it will interrupt any recruitment that they're doing that is reliant on it, so it has some value. And I'm actually going to have Toltirin step out of the city now that he's gotten a couple turns of that good replenishment, and go into stealth mode. Maybe we can bait some of them over into attacking what they think is undefended land.
Speak as one, and the forest speaks.
Alright, absolutely not, as always. I mean, a core part of the problem here is that they think they're more powerful than I am, right? The balance of power bar is showing more red than yellow, and that has a lot to do with just the raw number of troops they're able to have, and I'm assuming that they have a bunch of armies, like, over in the little peninsula area or something, because I don't know where else they would all be. Hopefully our high elven allies can keep them at bay while we continue to slowly burn their country to cinders.
Speak quickly.
Fear not.
What do you guys want? You would like a defensive alliance too? You know what? Now that I know that it doesn't contribute health to the oak, no thank you. I don't see a lot of reason to do that. Somehow Ariel just keeps gaining levels, just sitting around. It is a little unfortunate that burning down a city takes a whole turn.
They will know
I
order.
refuse doom.
They cannot remain a threat.
Alright, the forge is lit, but we know there's no reason to use it at the moment.
Only when necessary.
Alright, so let's grab the one that affects... So it's 12% missile strength for the Hawk Riders versus 5 melee attack and 5 melee defense for the Eagles and Dragons. I guess this is slightly better. Oh, you know what? Probably, actually, we should grab Stand Your Ground. So it adds 24 melee defense onto the rally ability, which is, that's significant, you know, that's a lot. Get really good at wounding people. And you get to pick up Deadly Onslaught, which is just a thing we will pop every time we are about to hit an enemy. Plus 36% charge bonus when you already have 81 charge bonus is a big deal. Those are going to be some good charges. So you can ride all the way to Naggarond and burn it back down before it gets going, and they have, I think, not enough stuff to punish you for doing that. These fools thought they were safe. Nope, do it. He refuses. Apparently, nope, don't quite have the movement for that. You can see a tiny little bit of red arrow. Can't attack either of them, in fact. Can you... Okay, just re-ambush right here, I guess. It's definitely weird. And then...
Orion protects.
They have a hero.
Blade in their back.
I hate that very much. Let's make that not true anymore.
Guided my hand.
You are... Yeah. You're pro-eagle, right? Everybody loves eagles. We're just going to keep having Dodan sort of sail along the North Shore here and meet some other people who might be willing to be friendly. Alright, so we've properly encountered Reichland.
For a boon, speak. This is rash.
What if I throw in some money? Because I certainly have some money. I will pay you 10,000 gold. It's going to take a little while to earn that back. How about a slightly more reasonable number?
Ill-advised.
Alright, we're still trending upward with them. We'll get it. What about the Men of the Empire? The Men of Reichland.
From Sigma.
Trending toward... Okay, so the 0 seems to be a typo. We're actually at 39, trending toward 41. Wouldn't that make this... Look how good this is. Look how much money we could both make. They would pay me 2,000 gold for a non-aggression pact. Sure, yeah, I'll do that. Trending toward 56. What about a trade agreement now? They do military access. Okay. I also want military access, but what about that and also a trade agreement? Boy, they really don't want us to have that. Alright, I'll take this. That's fine. We'll trend ourselves into a very positive relationship here. Weird people over there in the Empire. Did they recruit this army south of Hag Hall? Is that where those guys are coming from? Okay, here comes Malekith. Looks like he's headed... It's hard to tell if he's headed for Haggrave or if he's going to reinforce Naggarond, unfortunately. Yeah, there must be some fighting. The Dark Elves must be doing some fighting over to our east, because I can't imagine why else they would move that Black Ark in that direction. Yeah, there must be... The High Elves must be hitting somewhere over here and drawing some of their stuff off. Which, you know, if it's true, that's an impressive amount of military coordination. An impressive amount of forethought from the AI. They usually don't do a great job with that stuff. So, the sisters. Can we get over here? No, not even in march mode. So I'm going to have the sisters sit right next to Haggrave in ambush mode then, in the hopes that Malekith will try to make landfall and attack. And then next turn we can join back up. You guys should definitely now surge forth and show Naggarond who is boss. They do have units again, and walls somehow. Oh, it's a major settlement, right? It always has walls. Oh, interesting. Okay. So this is... Bug might be too strong, but this is definitely very weird behavior. When you as the player start a settlement garrison, the units come in at very, very low health and then have to build up in strength over time. They should not have been able to create a 12-unit full health garrison. That does complicate matters a little bit. I think we want to back off. Let's break this siege. Because I think if we stay in on that, we're going to get mobbed by a ton of enemy units. Can I just... Yeah, we'll just ambush mode right here, and next turn we'll gather up, and we'll take them on that way. I guess you may as well just sit still. I move over here a little bit. There's not really, I think, a ton of sense in sailing down the river. Let's go over the coast here. And we could just try to give them a whole lot of money in exchange for that trade agreement. If we're only getting 100-something gold per turn from it, it does feel like a little silly to give them too much, but it would be really nice to get it established.
Disagree with that.
It's also possible that they're just not going to give it to us, and in fact, I would say more than possible. It seems likely, because if they weren't just obstinately refusing us for the purpose of refusing, I can't imagine why they wouldn't have accepted by now. And sometimes the AI gets like that. It just it decides that under current conditions, it is not willing to make certain kinds of deals with you. Okay, well, Malekith wandered into the ambush, so let's show him a thing or two. Take a big bout of replenishment, because there's still a lot of enemy armies nearby. Here we will just run away. Boy, that's... We will slowly hobble away. Oh, that's a shame. They retreated out of my territory. Okay. So, this is all of a sudden, all of these enemy armies have huge amounts of movement. I am very surprised that Anarsis was able to travel the distance she was able to travel. We are going to lose this battle then. right? With this many units of Blackguard and, unfortunately, our main strong melee guys being large, they have 3 units of Cold One Dread Knights, a big dragon. That's a full dragon. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a total nightmare. We are going to want to fight this manually, and we're going to want to be pretty... We're going to want to try to maximize the amount of damage that we deal to them, because, of course, now the sisters are going to have a lot of problems to clean up. And so, because of that, because this is going to be kind of a slowly fought battle, I think we're going to call the episode here for right now. Apologies for the suspense, but hey, let it motivate you to tune in next time when we come back on Monday. We're going to shed a lot of blood, and a lot of our blood is going to be shed. And in the end, I guess, may the most murdery elf win. And we'll see you then.